There's a surge coming. The WESAK full moon isn't just another full moon, it's a cosmic window offering direct access to the Buddha's enlightenment energy. But be warned, enlightenment without intention can be a loaded gun. WESAK isn't just some Buddhist holiday. It's a universal opportunity for spiritual advancement, a moment when the veil thins and the potential for profound awakening becomes incredibly accessible to everyone, regardless of their background. Here's the thing, most people think enlightenment is this instantaneous, all-or-nothing event, like flipping a switch. They imagine some divine download that suddenly transforms you into a perfectly enlightened being. But the reality is far more nuanced, more organic, and ultimately more achievable. Enlightenment is an ongoing process of awakening and integration, a continuous journey of peeling back layers of illusion and aligning with your true self. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But are you truly ready for enlightenment? And here's the catch. You may have even heard whispers of the WESAK curse, a supposed warning about unprepared individuals tapping into these energies. This video is your comprehensive guide to safely and effectively harnessing the transformative enlightenment energy of the WESAK full moon. We'll provide you with practical tools and knowledge to navigate this potent cosmic event, ensuring you're not just a passive observer, but an active participant in your own spiritual evolution. And to help you gauge your readiness, we're also including a unique self-assessment tool. Am I truly ready for enlightenment? The 7 signs. This powerful assessment will help you pinpoint where you stand on your path and identify any potential blockages preventing you from fully embracing this energy. After years of experience working with individuals from all walks of life, my experience shows that enlightenment is easier than you think. So how can one consciously and safely harness the enlightenment energy of the WESAK full moon to accelerate their spiritual awakening? How can we approach this powerful cosmic event with intention, understanding, and a deep respect for the energies involved? That's what we'll explore in this video, as we demystify the WESAK full moon and provide you with the tools you need to make the most of this extraordinary opportunity. First, we'll dispel some common misconceptions about enlightenment, revealing the true nature of this transformative process. Then we'll uncover the Buddha's hidden teachings, lesser-known aspects of his wisdom that emphasize practical application and personal responsibility, aspects of the teaching which you can apply to your life today. We'll also identify common blockages that can prevent you from fully harnessing the WESAK energy and provide actionable strategies for overcoming these challenges. Finally, we'll tackle the WESAK curse head-on, offering a balanced perspective and dispelling any unnecessary fears. So, get ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual empowerment as we prepare to harness the incredible enlightenment energy of the WESAK full moon. Enlightenment isn't a bolt of lightning. It's more like the slow, steady burn of a pilot light, always on, waiting for you to tend the flame. Forget the image of the Buddha achieving instant enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. That's a symbolic representation, not a literal event. The truth is, the Buddha himself spent years in rigorous practice, enduring countless trials before his awakening. And here's what most people miss. His enlightenment wasn't the end of his journey, it was the beginning of his teaching. He spent the rest of his life sharing the path, adapting his message to different audiences and different times. What if the real, hidden teaching is that enlightenment is less about receiving a gift and more about cultivating a capacity? So how do you know if you're on the right track? How can you distinguish genuine spiritual awakening from ego simply masquerading as enlightenment? Think about it. Have you ever met someone who constantly talks about their awakening, but still acts selfishly, judgmentally, or even cruelly? That's a prime example of an ego trap. They might be convinced they're enlightened because they can quote spiritual texts or perform elaborate rituals. They might boast about their psychic abilities, but genuine awakening manifests in observable ways: increased empathy, unconditional love, a deep sense of interconnectedness, and a detachment from material possessions. Are you seeking enlightenment? Or are you seeking attention disguised as enlightenment? Are you driven by a genuine desire to alleviate suffering or by a need to feel superior? Are you measuring your progress by external validation or by the internal compass of your own heart? Let's break down the actual mechanics of enlightenment. Imagine peeling an onion layer by layer. Each layer represents a limiting belief, a fear, a trauma, an illusion that obscures your true nature. As you peel away these layers, you reveal more and more of your authentic self, your inherent wisdom, and your boundless compassion. This isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of self-discovery and integration. You integrate your shadow aspects, the parts of yourself you've disowned or repressed. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the WESAK curse. You may have heard whispers about the dangers of unprepared individuals tapping into the WESAK energy. The idea is that suddenly flooding yourself with intense spiritual energy can cause psychological distress, confusion, and even spiritual darkness if you're not ready. You might have even seen online horror stories of people blaming the WESAK full moon for their anxiety, their insomnia, or their sudden existential crises. But here's the truth. The WESAK energy itself isn't dangerous. The danger lies in the lack of preparedness. It's like trying to run a marathon without training. You won't be affected if you simply have good intentions. Think of the WESAK energy as a powerful amplifier. It amplifies whatever is already present within you. If you're filled with fear, doubt, and unresolved trauma, the WESAK energy will amplify those things. But if you approach it with mindful intention, self-awareness, and a commitment to ethical conduct, it will amplify your compassion, your wisdom, and your capacity for love. You can't blame the energies if things go wrong. You are responsible for creating the conditions for a safe and transformative experience. So, how can you align with the WESAK energy safely and effectively? The key is mindful intention. Before you even begin to meditate, take a moment to clarify your intention. What do you hope to achieve? What qualities do you want to cultivate? What limiting beliefs do you want to release? Get specific. Instead of simply thinking, I want to be enlightened, try something like, I intend to open my heart to greater compassion and understanding, or I intend to release my fear of change and embrace the unknown. Then, engage in practices that cultivate compassion and self-awareness. Loving kindness meditation, where you radiate feelings of love and kindness towards yourself, your loved ones, and all beings, is a powerful tool for opening your heart. Gratitude journaling, where you write down things you're grateful for each day, can shift your focus from lack to abundance. And selfless service, volunteering your time and energy to help others, can help you transcend your ego and connect with something larger than yourself. Also, consider taking our self-assessment tool, Am I Truly Ready for Enlightenment? The 7 Signs. This will help you gauge your readiness and identify areas for growth. Remember, enlightenment is not a destination. It's a journey, and it's okay to not be perfect. It's about trying. Ultimately, remember that you are in control. Intention is key. You must show readiness and clear intention, but we're just scratching the surface. What if the Buddha left us even more practical guidance, tools that are easily accessible but often overlooked? That brings us to the Buddha's hidden teachings. These aren't secret doctrines reserved for a select few, but rather practical principles that can be applied to everyday life. And here's the thing, these teachings can change your life drastically, but only if you are willing to truly understand and apply them. But here's what most people miss. The serene image of the Buddha, the peaceful smile, the promise of enlightenment, it's often just the tip of the iceberg. We see the statues, we hear the chants, we read the popular interpretations of his teachings. But what if there's a whole ocean of practical wisdom beneath the surface, waiting to be explored? What if the familiar image of the Buddha and his teachings is just the surface layer, while there are hidden teachings that offer a more direct, practical path to enlightenment, hinting that something is missing from the mainstream understanding? There's more to it, isn't there? Something feels incomplete. What if these teachings weren't necessarily hidden intentionally, but obscured by cultural interpretations and the passage of time? Maybe they've been lost in translation, buried under layers of dogma and ritual. Think about it. The concept of right action, one of the core elements of the Eightfold Path, is often glossed over. We focus on meditation, mindfulness, and philosophical concepts. But what about actively doing something to alleviate suffering? Isn't that the most direct expression of compassion? Right action is often ignored, or at least downplayed. And what about the Buddha's emphasis on personal experience over blind faith? He encouraged his followers to question everything, to experiment with his teachings, and to discover the truth for themselves. The Buddha was all about experimenting, about testing the waters, not just accepting everything he said as gospel. He was all about self-discovery. And what about the principle of interconnectedness, the idea that everything is connected to everything else? If we truly understood this, how could we possibly harm another being, exploit the environment, or act selfishly? The butterfly effect dictates karma, doesn't it? Every action, no matter how small, has ripple effects that extend throughout the entire universe. And how can these teachings be applied to everyday life? A mindful communication before posting online, an ethical consumption before buying something cheap, a compassionate action before judging someone. So, why are these teachings often overlooked? Why are they treated as secondary or optional? The monks took over the message, didn't they? Over time, the emphasis shifted from personal experience to adherence to monastic rules and rituals. The focus became more on escaping the world than on actively engaging with it. The practical wisdom got diluted or distorted. And let's face it, the concept of personal responsibility can be challenging for some. It requires active engagement, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront our own shortcomings. People don't want responsibility, they want a guru, someone to tell them what to do and believe. It's easier to follow a set of rules than to navigate the complexities of ethical decision-making. Some take things too far, don't they? These teachings can also be misinterpreted or misused. Without a strong foundation of ethical conduct and compassion, they can be twisted to justify harmful actions. Think of these teachings like tools, powerful but potentially dangerous if used incorrectly. A chainsaw can build a house or kill someone. It all depends on the intention and the skill of the user. How can we integrate these hidden teachings into our daily lives? How can we unlock their potential for personal and collective transformation? Set alarms to take mindful breaths during the day to bring yourself back to the present moment. Try reflective journaling, where you explore your thoughts, feelings, and motivations without judgment, and perform acts of kindness, no matter how small, to extend your compassion to others. Don't just believe me, try this, experiment with it, see what works for you. Question your own beliefs and assumptions, seeking personal experience and direct knowing. Before you buy something, ask who it affects. Before you speak, consider the impact of your words, and always set an intention before acting. Remember, these teachings are only effective with intention. The WESAK full moon is a powerful amplifier, but it will only amplify what is already present within you. If you approach it with mindful intention, self-awareness, and a commitment to ethical conduct, it will amplify your compassion, your wisdom, and your capacity for love. But there will be challenges, won't there? Integrating these teachings is not always easy. You'll encounter resistance from your own ego, from cultural conditioning, and from external forces that seek to maintain the status quo. But these teachings can help you navigate problems, can guide you through the darkness, and can ultimately lead you to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Remember, these teachings are only effective with intention. But what if intention alone isn't enough? What if, despite your best efforts, your deepest desires, and your most sincere intentions, something is still holding you back from fully experiencing the enlightenment energy of the WESAK full moon? It's like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. You can press the gas pedal all you want, but you won't get very far. Many people approach the WESAK full moon with excitement and anticipation, ready to receive the blessings of enlightenment. They meditate, they chant, they visualize, they set intentions. Yet despite all their efforts, they feel nothing, or worse, they experience frustration, confusion, or even a sense of spiritual darkness. It's not that the WESAK energy isn't real. It's that there are unseen barriers, internal limitations, that are preventing them from fully receiving it. These blockages aren't external forces. They're ingrained beliefs, emotional baggage, and unconscious patterns that are lurking beneath the surface, sabotaging your best efforts. The longer you ignore them, the less effective you'll be. What are these hidden obstacles? What are these unseen barriers that are preventing you from fully experiencing the transformative power of the WESAK full moon? Let's look at 7 of the most common blockages. First, attachment to the ego. Do you find yourself constantly seeking validation from others? Do you fear criticism or judgment? Do you resist change because it threatens your sense of self? These are all signs of ego attachment. It's wanting to be special, wanting to be right, wanting to be important. Imagine someone who constantly posts about their meditation practice on social media, seeking praise and admiration from others. That's the ego at work, turning a spiritual practice into a tool for self-aggrandizement. Second, fear of the unknown. Are you afraid of surrendering control? Do you cling to familiar beliefs, even when they no longer serve you? Do you avoid uncertainty because it makes you uncomfortable? These are signs of fearing the unknown. Consider someone researching enlightenment but never actually meditating. Third, lack of self-compassion. Are you harsh with yourself when you make mistakes? Do you find it difficult to forgive yourself? Do you hold yourself to impossibly high standards? This is a lack of self-compassion. Picture someone getting angry with themselves for missing a single day of meditation, berating themselves for their lack of discipline. Fourth, unresolved trauma. Do you have emotional wounds from the past that continue to influence your behavior? Do you find it difficult to be present because you're constantly reliving past experiences? This is unresolved trauma. Imagine flashbacks preventing someone from living in the moment. Trauma creates a filter that distorts everything. Fifth, spiritual materialism. Are you obsessed with spiritual tools or status symbols? Do you mistake external possessions for inner growth? Spiritual materialism is looking for enlightenment in a new yoga mat, or in crystals, or in a guru. Consider someone who only seeks out expensive retreats and tools, believing that they are essential for spiritual progress. Sixth, intellectual arrogance. Do you over-rely on logic and reason, dismissing intuition and emotional intelligence? Are you closed-minded to perspectives that differ from your own? Intellectual arrogance is thinking you know everything. Imagine someone who dismisses any spiritual experience that cannot be explained by science, never considering other points of view. Seventh, lack of discipline. Do you start and stop spiritual practices without ever fully committing to them? Do you give in to distractions easily? Do you find it difficult to maintain a consistent routine? This is a lack of discipline. Envision someone who starts a meditation practice with enthusiasm, but then abandons it after a few days because they don't have time. Where do these blockages come from? Why are they so powerful? Attachment to ego stems from a deep-seated fear of death, the annihilation of the self. We cling to our identities, our accomplishments, our beliefs, because they give us a sense of permanence in a world of constant change. Fear of the unknown arises from our primal need for safety and security. We crave predictability and control, and anything that threatens, that feels dangerous. Lack of self-compassion is often rooted in early childhood experiences, where we were taught to judge ourselves harshly and to seek approval from others. Unresolved trauma creates deep grooves in our psyche, shaping our perceptions and reactions in ways that we may not even be aware of. Spiritual materialism is a misguided attempt to fill an inner void with external objects, mistaking the map for the territory. Intellectual arrogance is a defense mechanism, a way of protecting ourselves from the vulnerability of not knowing. And lack of discipline is often a symptom of deeper issues, such as fear of failure or a lack of self-worth. These blockages distort our perception of reality. They create filters that prevent us from seeing things as they truly are. They lead to misinterpretations of spiritual experiences, delusions of grandeur from small spiritual experiences, and hinder genuine growth. Someone might experience a moment of peace in meditation and then interpret it as a sign that they are enlightened, inflating their ego and cutting themselves off from further learning. Spiritual bypassing, using spiritual ideas to avoid addressing painful emotions or difficult situations, can become a convenient excuse for staying stuck. The potential negative consequences are stagnation, frustration, spiritual bypassing, and even psychological distress. You might end up more confused than when you started. Now you might be thinking, isn't this just part of the human experience? Doesn't everyone struggle with these things? And you're right, these blockages are common. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's acceptable. Just because everyone experiences fear doesn't mean we should let fear control our lives. These blockages are not insurmountable, and they should be actively addressed. How do we overcome these blockages? How do we unlock the transformative power of the WESAK energy? Here are 7 keys to get you started. First, to overcome ego attachment, practice daily affirmations, mindful self-compassion exercises, and acts of service. Repeat, I am enough, I am worthy, I am loved, not as a boast, but as a gentle reminder of your inherent value. Perform acts of service without seeking recognition or reward, focusing on the joy of giving. Second, to overcome fear of the unknown, practice grounding meditations, visualization exercises, and embrace uncertainty. Imagine roots going deep into the earth, connecting you to the stability and groundedness of the planet. Visualize yourself stepping into the unknown with courage and confidence, trusting that the universe will support you. Third, to cultivate self-compassion, practice loving-kindness meditation, forgiveness practices, and acts of kindness towards yourself. Send love and compassion to yourself, just as you would to a dear friend. Forgive yourself for your past mistakes, recognizing that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Fourth, to heal unresolved trauma, seek trauma-informed therapy, somatic experiencing, or mindfulness-based stress reduction. Find a therapist who specializes in trauma and can provide a safe and supportive space for you to process your experiences. Fifth, to combat spiritual materialism, practice gratitude journaling, decluttering practices, and mindful consumption. Donate something that you love, focusing on the joy of giving it to someone who needs it. Sixth, to address intellectual arrogance, cultivate beginner's mind, seeking diverse perspectives, and practicing active listening. Read viewpoints you disagree with, seeking to understand the reasoning behind them. Seventh, to build discipline, set realistic goals, create a consistent routine, and find an accountability partner. Set a timer for meditation, starting with just 5 minutes a day, and gradually increase the time as you become more comfortable. Overcoming these blockages is an ongoing process. There will be good days and bad days, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep cultivating self-compassion. Be patient with yourself, knowing that transformation takes time. During this WESAK full moon, choose one blockage to focus on. Pick one and give it all of your attention. Identify the blockage that resonates most strongly with you, the one that seems to be causing the most trouble in your life. Commit to working on that blockage, using the techniques and exercises we've discussed. It's like weeding your garden before planting. You wouldn't expect your seeds to thrive if the soil is choked with weeds, would you? Similarly, you can't expect to fully receive the blessings of the WESAK energy if your inner landscape is cluttered with these blockages. We must prepare the ground. So how do we take these keys and run even faster? What if there were techniques that could actually amplify the positive effects of the WESAK energy, leading to rapid spiritual growth? It turns out, there are actions you can take to speed things up. Let's explore the concept of enlightenment accelerators. These will make the changes happen faster, but you must first clear this ground. Now that you've cleared the weeds from your garden, so to speak, you're ready to plant the seeds of rapid spiritual growth. You've faced your shadows, integrated the hidden teachings, and committed to a path of mindful intention. But what if you could amplify the transformative power of the WESAK full moon, dramatically increasing the rate of your personal evolution? It turns out, certain practices act as enlightenment accelerators, boosting the energy you're channeling. These aren't shortcuts, understand. This isn't about bypassing the necessary work or magically leaping to enlightenment overnight. These accelerators are more like fertilizer for your soul. They provide the nutrients and conditions necessary for growth to flourish, helping you get the most out of the WESAK energy. So, what are these enlightenment accelerators? There are 5 powerful practices you can incorporate into your WESAK full moon experience. First, mindful service. This is acting selflessly to benefit others, but with focused intention. It's not just about going through the motions of helping. It's about consciously directing your energy towards the well-being of others. Imagine volunteering at a soup kitchen, not just to serve food, but with the intention of alleviating suffering and spreading compassion. Or perhaps offering your skills to a local charity, dedicating your time and energy to a cause you believe in. Remember that it is more important to be kind than to be right. Second, radical gratitude. This goes beyond simply saying thank you. It's about actively appreciating the blessings in your life, shifting your focus from lack to abundance. Instead of dwelling on what you don't have, you intentionally cultivate an awareness of what you do have. Try journaling about the things you appreciate, no matter how small they may seem. The roof over your head, the food on your table, the love of your family, the beauty of nature. Third, creative expression. This involves engaging in artistic pursuits that allow for authentic self-expression and connection to source. It's about tapping into your inner artist and allowing your creativity to flow freely. This could be painting, writing, playing music, dancing, or any other form of creative expression that resonates with you. Imagine painting a picture with the intention of connecting with a higher power or writing a poem to enlightenment. Fourth, nature immersion. This is spending time in nature, connecting with the earth's energy and wisdom. It's about immersing yourself in the natural world and allowing its healing energy to wash over you. Think about hiking in a forest during the WESAK full moon, consciously connecting with the trees, the plants, the animals, and the earth beneath your feet. Or simply sitting by a river, listening to the sounds of nature and feeling the gentle breeze on your skin. You can even connect with nature by connecting to the animals around you. Fifth, devotional practice. This involves engaging in prayer, chanting, or other forms of worship that deepen your connection to the divine. It's about opening your heart to a higher power and surrendering to the guidance of the universe. This could be chanting mantras during meditation, praying to your chosen deity, or simply spending time in quiet contemplation, listening to the voice of your soul. You don't have to be religious to pray. Prayer is about the intention, not the words. What shifts might you observe when you put these accelerators into practice? You might find yourself experiencing increased joy, deeper connections with others, enhanced intuition, and a heightened sense of energy. You might find yourself happier than normal, feeling a sense of peace and contentment that you haven't felt in a long time. But why do these practices accelerate enlightenment? What's the mechanism behind their transformative power? Mindful service reinforces interconnectedness and ethical conduct, dissolving ego boundaries and reminding us that we are all one. Serving others reminds us we're one, eliminating the illusion of separation. Radical gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, dissolving limiting beliefs and attracting positive energy. Gratitude stops you from thinking about what you don't have and opens you up to what you do have. Creative expression allows for authentic self-expression and connection to source, releasing repressed emotions and accessing intuition. Art gets to the core of your being, bypassing the limitations of the rational mind. Nature immersion grounds your energy, balances your emotions, and connects you to the earth's wisdom, facilitating healing and growth. Nature is a reset button, a place where you can reconnect with your true self. Devotional practice deepens your connection to the divine, opening your heart and cultivating faith. Prayer speaks directly to your soul, bypassing the chatter of the mind. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Enlightenment can't be hacked or rushed. It's a gradual process that unfolds over time. And you're right to a degree, but these accelerators aren't about cheating the system. They're about creating optimal conditions for growth. This isn't about cheating, it's about optimizing. Think of it like this. Fertilizer doesn't magically transform a seed into a flower overnight. It nourishes the soil, provides essential nutrients, and encourages healthy growth. But the seed still needs time to sprout, develop roots, and blossom. Fertilizer is not instant. It requires time and the right conditions to work its magic. So, how can you activate these accelerators during the WESAK full moon? First, for mindful service, plan a specific act of service to perform during the WESAK full moon, focusing on intention and selfless giving. Decide how you will serve this WESAK. Second, for radical gratitude, create a gratitude altar, filling it with objects that represent blessings in your life, and spending time expressing gratitude. What are you thankful for? Display it proudly. Third, for creative expression, dedicate time to a creative pursuit, allowing for authentic self-expression and connection to source. Write a poem to enlightenment or paint a picture that expresses your inner world. Fourth, for nature immersion, spend time in nature during the WESAK full moon, consciously connecting with the Earth's energy and wisdom. Stare at the moon in the forest or sit by a river and listen to the sounds of nature. Fifth, for devotional practice, engage in a devotional practice that resonates with your heart, connecting to the divine and opening to guidance. Say a prayer that resonates with you or chant a mantra that fills you with peace. Choose one or two accelerators to focus on during the WESAK full moon. Focus on a single intention. Don't spread yourself too thin. And consider incorporating a guided meditation that incorporates all 5 accelerators, providing a powerful tool for harnessing the WESAK energy. Remember, enlightenment is a journey, not a destination. It's a lifelong journey, not a sprint. Embrace the process with patience, self-compassion, and mindful intention. You've cleared your inner obstacles, integrated hidden teachings, and now you're ready to amplify the transformative power of the WESAK energy with these accelerators. You have to do all of these to experience the most change. But here's the thing, personal enlightenment is not just about individual transformation. It's also about contributing to collective consciousness and positive change in the world. Now we'll discuss how your enlightenment helps others, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond yourself. The WESAK full moon is not only for you, but for all, a collective event that can catalyze positive change. And in the next section, we'll explore how your personal journey can contribute to a brighter future for all of humanity. As we approach this powerful WESAK gateway, feel the slowing of time, the expansion of awareness, the potential for profound transformation. The question isn't whether the WESAK energy will affect you, but how you will choose to harness it, how deeply you'll allow it to reshape your inner landscape. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. Your attention, your intention, your very presence here signifies a commitment to growth, and I honor that commitment. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered several core truths. We've seen that enlightenment isn't a sudden flash of insight, but a continuous unfolding, a lifelong dance of discovery. We've recognized that intention and preparedness aren't just helpful, they're essential for navigating the potent WESAK energies. We've explored the hidden teachings that provide practical tools for spiritual growth. We've faced the inner blockages that can hinder progress, the shadows that whisper doubts and fears. And finally, we've activated enlightenment accelerators to amplify the positive effects, fueling our journey with mindful intention and selfless service. Remember, these challenges, these potential curses, aren't roadblocks. They're stepping stones, opportunities to refine your intention, strengthen your resolve, and deepen your compassion. Think of this WESAK full moon as a cosmic mirror, reflecting back to you your own potential for enlightenment, showing you both the light and the shadows, and empowering you to choose which you wish to magnify. But your journey isn't just your own. It affects the entire web of consciousness, creating ripples of positive change that extend far beyond yourself. Like ripples in a pond, your enlightenment creates waves of positive change, influencing those around you, inspiring them to awaken to their own potential. The timeless wisdom of interconnectedness, reminds us that we are all part of a larger whole, that our individual actions have collective consequences. By embracing your own potential, you create new possibilities for future generations, paving the way for a more compassionate, enlightened world. The WESAK full moon isn't just a personal event. It's a global opportunity to shift consciousness, to heal collective wounds, and to create a brighter future for all of humanity. It's time to connect with the understanding that positive change is always possible. Remember, you weren't brought here to merely observe this energy, you were brought here to radiate with it, to become a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs it. You have the power to create positive change in your life and the world, to heal old wounds, to forgive past hurts, and to step into a future filled with love, joy, and peace. So keep cultivating compassion, keep seeking truth, and keep shining your light even in the darkest of times. Embrace the light, transform your life, awaken your potential. Don't let fear hold you back. What insights did you gain from this video? What are you taking away from this exploration of the WESAK energies? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation together. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel for more guidance, more explorations of cosmic energies, and more tools for spiritual awakening. And be sure to explore the additional resources related to the WESAK full moon, meditation, and Buddhist teachings. I've included a link in the description below. May the light of the Buddha guide your path, may peace be with you always, and may your journey to enlightenment be filled with joy, wonder, and boundless love.